Bryan Cranston is rumored to play the villain in Dexter Resurrection Season 2, and Dexter fans, if this is true, we may have just hit the jackpot. Dexter fans know that Dexter Resurrection Season 1 was amazing, one of the best television comebacks of all time, but casual fandom are not ready to call Prestige TV again. But if we can get a casting like Bryan Cranston as a follow-up to Dexter Resurrection Season 1 with Leon Prater, Kristen Ritter, Eric Stonestreet, Neil Patrick Harris, Uma Thurman, David Desmalchian, all of these all-star cast members, if we can get another big cast member for Season 2, that has to prove to the entire fandom, to the entire television casual fandom, that Dexter is back. And let's just talk about this here, because Bryan Cranston would absolutely kill it as the villain in Dexter Resurrection Season 2. If he is the New York Ripper, that could be even better. It really kind of does fit here. Think about it. We know that the Ripper has been inactive, so maybe the Ripper being a little bit older would make a lot of sense. Bryan Cranston is obviously a little bit older, and he could play whatever age you need him to after about 50 or so that would work perfectly. We also know that he's been dormant. We have the voice messages from him, and it's been altered, so we're okay there. It's obviously not Bryan Cranston's voice that we hear, but you can easily say that it was altered because we know that it was when Claudette showed it to the class, so that's obviously no problem. But we have Bryan Cranston here with some of the best range that you can show from an actor in recent memory. We obviously have him killing it on the comedic side of things, from Malcolm in the Middle to How I Met Your Mother, and to more recently The Studio, but obviously, what we're thinking about here is Heisenberg, and not just Heisenberg, Walter White. We know that technically there's two different ways to act when it comes to Walter White versus Heisenberg, and then obviously they start blending into one as the seasons go on and as the story goes on. But Heisenberg as the New York Ripper, that version of Bryan Cranston, would be a formidable opponent for Dexter Morgan. It will most likely start as an opponent or somebody that Claudette is looking into. We don't know how big the time jump's going to be. Who knows if Harrison himself is going to go on the criminology side of things? Is he going to be a cop by the time Season 2 starts? Probably not. We don't know if there's a time jump. Could be. I'm thinking there won't be a huge time jump because we do know Dexter's probably going to go on a killing spree with all the files he got, and depending on how long that killing spree is, that could be the time jump, but who knows? Either way, having the New York Ripper be Bryan Cranston, we know that he can show ruthlessness, wrath, rage, all of it. He can also show calculation, and he can be someone who is not only rage personified, but also very, very formidable, very calculated, very intelligent, somebody that could be a major opponent for Dexter Morgan. And let's not talk about the fact that it would be reported on the news big time, because we're going to have two of the most iconic anti-heroes in all of television history, Heisenberg versus Dexter Morgan, on the screen. That would be unbelievable. I couldn't imagine years ago them casting someone like Bryan Cranston on a Dexter spinoff, but now that we have a Season 1 that got us all of these all-star casts that I listed earlier, I'm not surprised that this is an option for them. It seems that Clyde Phillips has said that he will show the script to the actor, not hold anything back, and say, here it is, are you in? And of course, they must have the money to spend. So it seems like they have the opportunity to get Bryan Cranston here, and that this rumor might not be just a rumor. It may be a fan cast. It may be a rumor from a fan cast going up into the news cycle. Who knows? But again, I'm very excited. Clyde Phillips said that he is very, very, very excited about the villain for Dexter Resurrection Season 2. Whether it's the New York Ripper or not, we're not sure. Assumingly so, it's the New York Ripper, but New York Ripper could be an overarching villain throughout the entire series. If this goes 3, 4, 5 seasons, we know it's at least 3 seasons. Again, if they can get Bryan Cranston for multiple seasons, that would be awesome. But either way, he's very happy with this villain. And of course, if you have a villain and you cast Bryan Cranston, I would be very happy as well. So guys, what do you think? Bryan Cranston, I could just picture Heisenberg on screen, but not just Heisenberg. I'm talking about Heisenberg, but serial killer Heisenberg. We know that Walter White / Heisenberg has a large body count. He's taking many lives, but it's not the same as being an actual serial killer. So having Heisenberg, but then add the serial killer aspect to it, would be wild, and I would be very, very interested to see that on our screens for Dexter Resurrection Season 2. Guys, let me know in the comments if you're interested. All right, until next time.